Welcome to another review and discussion. I'm Ace.
And I'm the Angry Raccoon.
And we're going to be talking about Ghost in the Shell, bracket 2017, close bracket.
Yeah, we need to state that. Because there's a few.
Yeah, unfortunately you kind of had to do this, and so far it isn't Ghost in the Shell Answer the Call yet.
No.
But maybe on DVD.
When the DVD releases, of course.
So this film doesn't understand Ghost in the Shell at all.
Yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it, guys. Yeah. I mean, spoiler warnings, of course.
Oh, definitely,
but
spoilers.
At the same time, if you've seen the original anime film, which is a masterpiece, it's not really saying anything because you've already seen the film, I would imagine, Ace.
Well, basically, also if you've seen Standalone Complex, because it basically rips off the main story arc from that as well. It combines the two, and it does them both terribly.
So then why is it called Ghost in the Shell?
Because they wanted it to be different, but not. You see? Yeah. They don't really understand.
Strap yourselves in, guys. This is going to be an interesting review and discussion. Definitely get your revision work or your homework out or something to do while you listen to this, because we're about to save you some money.
So I'm just going to say, I'm going to talk a little bit about how it starts just because. So you know how the original, it just starts off with the amazing, showing the shell basically being created.
Yes.
Yeah. So instead it has words on the screen telling you about cyborgs and, how we make cyborgs and stuff.
Did they actually use the word cyborg and not android?
No, they didn't say cyborg or android, but they basically explained it, like putting a brain into a metal body and stuff, because they need to tell the audience.
Yes, because you can't visually show that.
Yeah. And then they actually use the words, and I quote this, this is your body, your shell, and we kind of put like your soul into it, your ghost. They actually said that.
Wow.
In the first 2 minutes.
Wow.
It was fucking awful.
They already didn't get it.
Yes.
They already didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they had to say that, and I found it so terrible. I face-palmed, and my friend laughed at me face-palming, because they knew.
Jeez. Wow, I thought we weren't gonna get into that until at least the first 30 minutes.
Oh no, trust me.
Damn.
It already started at the worst possible thing it could be, and it only goes downhill from here.
It started low so fast. I mean, oh my god. I mean, first of all, show don't tell. Yeah. That's a standard in all story writing. I mean, the original got that right. I'm going to say that a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part. And I should mention, I have not seen this film, the Ghost in the Shell 2017, mainly because I don't want to.
No,
because
that's a good thing.
I knew it was going to be terrible, and I love the original film.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of going to do much like we did with the Suicide Squad review, where one person's seen it and one person hasn't, and it's kind of the reaction and the comments on what we're initially hearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it does the intro of showing the body thing as well, but it doesn't have the music. That's safe for the credits. Don't worry.
Oh, that very haunting harmony, that gospel, as you could say.
That's in the credits, not in the actual film.
Oh.
Yeah. And after they try and replicate the whole, jumping off the building thing, and instead of the really cool thing of she drops down and then shoots the people and literally disappears, no, she does a slow-mo action scene, which combines the intro of the first, the animated film, and the first episode of Standalone Complex.
Now, what's kind of interesting was, we're going to go way back here, on one of the first episodes of the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, which is our fortnightly podcast. If you never listened to it, give it a shot maybe someday.
Yeah.
When we talked about this film actually getting a live-action Western adaptation, I said, and I remember this vividly, they are not going to do that iconic shot. They will not do it. And for the most part, it seems I was correct, because I understand the film industry a little better.
Alright, I'm just going to say it here. Right at the end of the film, before it fades to black and starts credits, she jumps off and then starts turning invisible, and then, she starts turning fully invisible before she puts her hand over her face, so they can't even do that right.
Oh, what the
hell?
But
they do it at the end of the film.
Why?
But they still do it wrong.
What is she doing?
Just jumping off a building.
Why?
No, they don't give you a reason. She just does it.
Was she monologuing?
Kind of, yeah. I can't even remember what something about, whatever happened during the film. It was really that terrible.
Oh, so you took the actual intro of the actual film, you named this film after, and put it at the end so that you can sequel bait.
Basically, yeah. This film also has to explain how Batu got his eyes, or Bato, I can't pronounce it.
Why? He's an android.
Basically, it's like during the thing, he's like, "Oh, I'm normal," and then explosion. Ah, my eyes, and they give him robot eyes.
That's not. We didn't really need to see that.
Yeah, and I don't know if they go into that backstory in the standalone complex. I've only seen a few episodes, so I can't.
Regardless, why is that important?
Yeah. They also do the whole like side story of Batu and like looking after stray dogs, which I'm sure is in standalone complex.
Most likely, nothing's original in this film.
Including, the dog that's on the front cover of, I think, standalone complex 2?
Yeah.
That's in the film.
It's also the front cover of the second film as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's in there. I actually didn't know about the second animated film, so some of this stuff might be from that.
Yeah, if you guys have actually seen this film and you and we're maybe missing out things that are from everything other than Laughing Man and the I think it's Innocent Sorrow is I believe what the second film is called.
I think so, yeah.
I think that's what it's called. If we are missing out things, we would actually love to know if
definitely.
they've made any other references to those properties, I guess.
But yeah, so they do all that, but the dogs don't come into it again at all. Like, it's just, I think Batu goes on about, like, we all have the thing that keeps us attached to humanity or something like that. And later on, like, I guess Major goes swimming underwater and she's like, I like it, or something. It scares me. So I think that's supposed to be her attachment to humanity. So I don't know what they were trying to do there.
I think they were trying to... It's hard to say. It's hard to use the word try with this film. I mean, I'm guessing what they were trying to poorly copy was the scene where Batu and Kusanagi, who's what she's actually called, not the fucking Major. Essentially the scene where she is diving underwater and they do have this nice talk about, what it means to be human, these two androids talking about this kind of thing, and it is very interesting. One of the main points of the film is the humanity within the coldness of a robot, or the consciousness, or is it consciousness, is it soul, is it a digital perspective of someone's mind, soul, and all these kinds of things. That's what the film doesn't necessarily is about, but it's what it hints at in some deeper meaning.
The original film, because I can't remember that scene.
Yes, the original. Okay. Yeah, they are on a boat out in the middle of nowhere. She comes out of the water, and they kind of have this talk about what it does mean to be human, despite the fact, which is very interesting, despite the fact they're both androids. Yeah.
So they do talk about that. I forgot that scene was in the animated film, but the problem is they already tried to show you that she has humanity, because she meets up with this random girl, and just like. They sit somewhere and she touches her face and it's like, in the trailer shot there's the bald lady. That it didn't go anywhere. It was just, I think it was another trying to show humanity.
Maybe it was a cut lesbian scene.
Possibly. I mean, apparently there was a cut scene involving I think an actor called Tricky. So a dog or something, I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
But that's apparently in the deleted scene. So
which is going to be sold an extra price on the Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah. I also want to say something. So, the Major, okay? So, the name they give her, like, slightly, and I only just barely caught it at one point, is Mira Killian, okay? But then later on, it turns out her brain is actually a Japanese girl called Motoko Kusanagi. Yeah. Yeah. So, she actually is Kusanagi, but...
No, but she was always meant to be Kusanagi.
Though. Oh, I know.
The character, they didn't change anything.
I know. They basically said that, like, she got given fake memories and her name is Mira Killian, but then she finds out later that she's actually Motoko Kusanagi.
So once again, what's the point in that? What's the point in that revelation?
Because she's white.
Does that serve any point to the film?
Oh, trust me, she meets, like, her mum and stuff.
To anyone who has never seen the original film, why does that matter?
Exactly.
Oh, you actually called this. Yeah. Okay.
And then she meets her mum, and it's like, oh my god, you remind me of my daughter, the way you look at me. And it's like, no, stop.
No, I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
You'd be creeped out.
Exactly.
If your daughter's brain was in a complete stranger's body. You wouldn't be like, oh, it's so cool. No, you'd be like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
You killed my daughter.
Exactly.
That'd be an interesting angle, but no, I guess no one who makes anything good worked on this film.
Yeah. And so we get to the villain, okay? I need to get his name properly. It's Hideo Kuze, played by Michael Pitt.
Okay.
Now, Michael Pitt, I loved in Funny Games. He was fantastic. In this, they somehow, they make him a weird hybrid of Nick Valentine from Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Major Kusanagi. Max Headroom, by the way he talks, and
What?
Google Translate.
Oh,
Because he sounds like a weird automated voice that sometimes errors like Max Headroom.
What does he look like?
He looks like Nick Valentine mixed with more like Major Kusanagi, but human-ish. It looks messed up.
This is the problem with this film is obviously no one watched the original film or even understood it.
Yeah.
Because everyone is a robot.
Yeah.
And that's not what the film is about. The whole point of an android or a bio-android is to look as human as possible.
Yeah. He's like the failed original version.
Why would he still be around?
Because he escaped and now he's hacking everyone's brains to get revenge.
They would have destroyed that thing.
He somehow survived. All the other 90...
his data would have survived, if anything. I would believe if his data or consciousness travelled through the internet and it put itself into a body. But if that is, in fact, the prototype that is still moving, that is terrible.
Yeah, that's the prototype. The other 90 or so prototypes, they were died, apparently. Backstory.
Yeah, even Avengers got that right.
Yeah.
Come on now, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
But yeah, so because of that, great actor is reduced to Max Headroom-itis, as I'm going to call it. Just constant error noises.
He doesn't have like the same kind of... Okay, thank goodness.
It's just like sometimes he'll error like, no.
Someone watched Age of Ultron and went, that'll be perfect for Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that's how robots act. And then someone went, no, it's not about robots. It's about people who think they're robots. And someone went, no, it's not about that. It's about robots being human. And someone went, no, it's not about that. It's about Scarlett Johansson being a robot. And they went, no, it's not about that. It's about a human thinking it's a robot.
And trust me, the main theme of the thing is memory, okay? Like, the memories of when I was human, that kind of shit. And how it's glitching into her current, like, brain, like, her body-brain thing that's been stopped by... So, basically, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
They were basically doing RoboCop there. So, it's like they're trying to do everything Ghost in the Shell, but Ghost in a Shell. Like, you know, the body that... The shell of Ghost in the Shell is Ghost in the Shell, but the brain is everything else.
No.
It's just wearing a fake body of it.
That's dumb. Let me guess. She defeats the main villain with the power of heart or some rubbish.
Oh no, they just rip off the ending scene of the first film with the giant spider tank. No lead up to it. It's just like the guy... It turns out that guy's not the actual villain. The actual villain's a businessman called Cutter. And he... Just at the end, he's like, get the spider tank. I'm not kidding. He says, get the spider tank.
Oh, man. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they replicate the same, like, the fight scene, but you know where the spider tank, like... I can't remember the actual name, so I'm just going to have to call it that.
Yeah.
You know how it grabs her face, and so it's, like, lifting her up? Yeah, that happens to Kuzi instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she still rips her arm off, like, trying to lift up.
But it doesn't look as good, because they were like, no blood.
No, there isn't blood, but it's still red, because robot. Yeah.
No, that's terrible. Does she, like, Hulk out as well? They probably couldn't afford
just kind
that.
of growls and, like...
Yeah.
And then it starts ripping.
Yeah, because what's weird about that scene in the original animated film is she just kind of, like, creates muscle on, like, her, like, body and to rip open the lid, and it's like, it looks even worse when her arms come off and you're like, oh god, you know.
Yeah.
But a weak woman like her would not be able to do that.
Yes, but no, she lifts it up and her arm separates and Kuzi gets shot in the head and he's like, I'm not dying. Or something like that.
Well, no, you shouldn't, because your consciousness should be, and your memory should be put elsewhere, because that's what this film's about, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're complaining.
And for some reason, there needs to be I almost said cutscene. There needs to be an action scene almost every, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's Ghost in the Shell, you know?
Yeah.
Including the slow-mo fight against, the geisha robots and some Yakuza.
So is that, the beginning of the film?
The geisha bots and some Yakuza people are at the beginning. Then there's an action scene against some Yakuza people in a club. Mm-hmm. Then there's more in this other area with, I think, more Yakuza people. Don't worry, that story goes nowhere.
Yeah, I would imagine, because there's nothing to do with Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Then there's the whole thing of... this is where they're ripping off the end of Standalone Complex Season 1, because I was told about this by someone.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're trying to shut down not District 9, Section 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to shut them down.
Okay.
And in the anime, this is a minor spoiler for that, it does get shut down.
Okay.
The Ender Standalone Complex. But it doesn't in this. Victory! We saved Section 9! Yay!
Now to continue the film.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the sequel. That's going to be the sequel.
Not going to be a sequel, but we're jumping the gun already. Now let's talk about that beginning scene with the geisha robots. Because, funny enough, they uploaded the first 5 minutes of the film as a desperate attempt to get people to actually care about this film.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, wow, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, it's awful.
The only good thing this film has going for it is every now and then it looks kind of okay.
What, visually?
Yes.
Yeah.
As in, like, they actually made a film.
Yeah.
As in, I'm not going to remember any of these scenes ever again.
Oh, no, I agree.
The most memorable thing in the film is the robot android geishas until they start opening their mouths and it's like, oh, it's just boring now.
Yeah. Like, in the Standalone Complex, they're basically normal looking. They're just geisha robots, like, but in this they have to go spider geisha robots and walk on walls and shit. Yeah,
and that's what completely destroyed. The shot where the one android geisha is just walking down the hall, much like a geisha woman would, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Exactly. Because it shows the shot and you go, oh, no, that's actually not a human. And I like that. That's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then everything else just gets ruined when it's like, oh, gunfight. Why? Yeah. If you wanted the data that bad, I don't think you really need to resort to that. Yeah. And now you've got the Major coming in and she's not doing anything and, you know, oh, they got it. Oh, she just failed her mission. Okay. Yeah. But that was worth it. No,
that was stupid as hell. And the sheer amount of times, like, okay, you know the epic, iconic. Epic has been ruined as a term.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic's almost been ruined, but the iconic scene, like the fist fight when Kusanagi is invisible. Yeah. So you know how it's a great, like, wide shot? Yeah. Yeah, it's so close, so ridiculous, you can't really tell what's going on. And obviously she's not really fully invisible. No. You can see slight light reflection, whatever. But yeah.
Because in the original film, she beats the hell out of that guy invisible, and then she turns visible.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the guy gets his arm twisted and broken because she's like, you're a terrorist, you're coming with me.
Yeah. In this, no, it's all close-ups and it's shot horribly.
In slow-mo. And I'm like...
Yeah, the slow-mo.
What is their fetish with slow-mo in this film?
The Matrix. That's the...
But even then, like... That went out a long time after Scary Movie parodied it to death.
Yeah, but they still think it's cool. It's still real to me, damn it.
Is this film, like, living, like, 15 years in the past in some sense?
I'd kind of say so-ish. Like, I mean, obviously, it looks nice, but I'm going to say this, okay. You know, in the original, it does transitions. Yeah. Between, like, areas of Tokyo. Mm-hmm. And it's basically showing your connection to the world, in a way, or your disconnect. Yeah. In this, it just uses them to have characters walk. Oh. Or it will show it, like, from above, and then it will just zoom into where they are, or something. And... yeah.
Disorientating, I must say.
Yeah. And they're trying to show off all their crazy, awesome, digital effects of their super future.
I just finished editing school.
Yeah, basically. And it doesn't look like Ghost in the Shell, the city landscape.
No, it looks like...
It looks like a more over-the-top Blade Runner. Yeah. Or Fifth Element.
It looks awful. Yeah. The aesthetic of the city looks absolutely terrible. And I was really surprised by it because... Yeah, they clearly... I mean, I haven't even seen Blade Runner, but I've seen those iconic images and those shots of the city.
And they're perfect in that.
They're amazing, but here it looks like a poor man's version where... Yeah. I think I said this either to you on audio or off air. It looks as though someone looked at that shot and went, oh, this is really cool, but the problem is it's too dark. Yeah. Brighten it up. Add colour to it. People really need to see the visuals and the advertising. People need to know this is a cyberpunk world. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with those shots in Blade Runner. Yeah, it's an older film, and yeah, it may not have been coloured correctly back at the time.
Oh, I say it's coloured perfectly.
Well, that's probably their intention. Maybe I've seen those shots discoloured in some possibly. Sense. But yeah, that's what I get the feeling, and it looks just awful. It looks terrible, but it looks like it looks fake. Yeah, and the world looks fake.
It looks very distracting. Yeah, and that's another issue. There's so much. It's so dense. I hate to just use someone else's criticism and meme, but it's true. there's so much going on, it's distracting. I've noticed twice in the scenes someone walking past with this weird kind of like head bubble thing that's got like digital stuff on it, so it's like a future headgear thing. I noticed that twice in the film when I should be paying attention to the major.
Why would they waste their time on that if it's not going to be important in any sense?
It's not even that it's point of view, it's that I just saw him walking past and it was more interesting than what was happening. But there was so much going on. It was very distracting.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be too much. I mean, and that can even just go to the fact that this film is taking elements from everything from the series and calling it Ghost in the Shell, where they could have just been heavily inspired by Ghost in the Shell. Matrix was.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why you just didn't make a film about that. I mean, that paid off, did it not?
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why people are so scared to just not take inspiration from things. Yeah, sure, you're going to get those few people and maybe arseholes who are going to go, this is very similar to this film.
Yeah.
So what? Just go out to the people and say, yeah, I was heavily inspired by Ghost in the Shell and I wanted to make a cyberpunk film. I love Ghost in the Shell. Because, 9 times out of 10, people will go, inspired by Ghost in the Shell, I got to see this. And, sometimes they'll come out going, hey, that was pretty cool. And then maybe some studio execs will go, hey, maybe we should make original sci-fi films or something like that.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
And, like, if you're going to adapt something, the thing that keeps it, like, as an adaptation, rather than just something slightly inspired, is capturing the heart of it.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you wanted to make a Fantastic Four movie, alright?
Yeah.
The heart of Fantastic Four is they're a superhero family.
Yes.
So you want to capture that. Unless you're doing a weird reimagining shit.
Yeah.
This doesn't capture the heart of Ghost in the Shell. And that's the problem.
It just takes what it likes and goes, that will work.
It takes surface elements.
It essentially goes, well, Ghost in the Shell is a classic. If we take this and this and this, I'm sure we'll make a good film.
Yeah, basically, that's what it does. It doesn't understand why they did them. It just thinks, people like that, I'm using it.
It doesn't understand anything. It doesn't understand anything about characters, story, meaning.
Yeah.
I would even argue it doesn't even understand animation or action.
No.
Or storyboarding. Because you could have easily copied the action from there, but you didn't. You decided to go, well, we need to make it like this.
Yeah.
You changed what didn't need to be changed when you took it. You could have, I mean, I know some people might get upset. You could have improved Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
You could have gone, well, that doesn't quite work in my Ghost in the Shell film. This doesn't quite work, and, maybe we'll make this make a little bit more sense, or maybe I'll add my own meaning to this. But no, you just did a piss poor job at tackling a classic, and you failed miserably.
And so another thing I wanted to go on to is they still try and incorporate elements of the original film. It's Puppet Man, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. They still try and incorporate that in bits of like taking over people's brains and stuff, getting them to do shit. But there still doesn't do anything later on. So later on, he doesn't kind of put part of himself into the Major's brain, like at the end of the original, that very iconic moment. Yet again, doesn't do that. And there's the whole bit of, there was the shot of the like all the people sitting around.
Yeah.
They talk about it for about a few seconds and then nothing.
Yeah, because it's basically taken from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, and even then, I think a lot of things have done similar concepts. Yeah, but they're quite niche.
It's not very original, no.
Yeah. But it doesn't serve any point to the plot.
No, it's just, this is a cool visual, put it in the film.
Like, I'd say Inception did a better version.
Of
that concept.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like, all the people just lying there getting, like, put into the dreams.
Oh, yeah, you know why? Because Christopher Nolan made an original film.
Exactly. But in this, it just does them all there for no reason. It's like, oh yeah, they put all their consciousness together. And? What does this do for the film?
Are you going to explain this? Are you going to hint at anything? Or are you just going to save it for the sequel?
Like, how many of these things that they set up, they don't come back or ever get a payoff anywhere?
And even if they do make a sequel, I don't think they'll be able to tackle all of them. Because... No. And I think the film has also put itself in a pretty terrible position because... Say they do make a sequel, are they just going to take what's left of everything to do with the original anime, or are they going to make their own thing? Are they going to resolve these left plot points? Or, I mean, I know they're not going to make a sequel, but they've essentially fucked themselves because that's what happens when you take the best of the best in your eyes. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. you can't understand.
Even if this film made $1 billion, what do you do next?
Yeah.
Well, you can't make Innocent Sorrow, the second film, because you borrowed too much from that, presumably.
So they unless they do that, but then they just borrow much more from Standalone Complex Season 2.
Which they probably will, but then again, they probably won't understand anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a shit show, really, guys. I mean, it's very disappointing, and you wondered why people got so at you for, having a white actress play the character. It's not because the character is not Asian. It's simply because this is a mistake.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have been making the film in the first place.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you always sort of wonder, why, if you're still setting it in Japan, and the story is very much about Japanese culture, it's one of the anime, the two big animes that everyone knows of, being Ghost in the Shell and Akira, are very Japanese.
Yeah.
They are kind of an inwards look on the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do this, and you're going to put the American actors or whatever, and you're not doing it for America, you're not adapting it to America, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. You've already failed.
Exactly.
I mean, I honestly think as soon as you are tied to a project that's based on an anime for a Western audience, your film is already done.
Unless you know how to adapt it.
But then I would argue, well, then you're just doing a shot-for-shot remake, which is not very original.
I'm going to put it in the good way of, there's Seven Samurai, and then there's the good adaptation, Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
That's how to adapt it for a Western audience.
Yes, yeah.
You turned feudal era Japan to Western America.
Yeah.
That's a good way to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look at the time period, the setting, the style, and see how it works.
Yeah, and both films work.
Exactly. And you have to look at that if you're doing an adaptation of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
How could you fit this story of 80s, 90s Japan set in kind of cyberpunk future? How can you adapt that for America?
Could have been done, but I don't think anyone would have.
Exactly.
I mean, someone probably could have done it slightly better, but I don't think it would have been that much better because, I mean, I know I'm going to sound like a very nasty person regarding to American creators, but I just don't think they have the great brain capacity to it. Money clouds their mind.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, yeah, there are, like I've probably said before, there are people who could make a good Ghost in the Shell film, but they're not going to, simply because why would they?
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan understands what Ghost in the Shell is about. He's not going to remake Ghost in the Shell because he's going to say there's no need.
Yeah, he just wants to make his own thing.
Yeah, he would much rather make a film that dabbles in ideas based on Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
He's not going to remake it because he will go, that's a classic, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Much like I'm sure a lot of people have said that regarding the Akira film.
Yeah.
They probably said, no, I don't understand this, or that's a classic, leave it alone.
Yeah.
They should have said the same with Ghost in the Shell, but no. Someone saw Star Wars and went, we need something like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I know that is a very bad example, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. And that just goes, if I'm correct, that just goes to show how much they don't understand it. If you think Star Wars is Ghost in the Shell, you failed at life.
Yeah, you
simply
don't understand anything.
You don't understand. I know it's probably like a 60-year-old white businessman who probably went, well, anime is popular, is it not?
Well, they need to start adapting from somewhere else other than books.
Well, there's plenty of books. And I mean, even then, they're remaking books.
Oh, no,
and
I know.
all that kind of stuff. I mean,
they've got to look for that fresh audience.
Plenty of original ideas. I mean, we talked about Get Out.
Yeah.
And that's an original film.
Yeah.
Not based on anything.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, other than racism, I guess.
Yeah. So it's based off America. Got it.
So that's but that's for that review.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's honestly just shocking how bad. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm smarter for knowing or having ideas based on Ghost in the Shell. All I'm saying is I have common sense.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a good idea. You were doomed from the moment you were tied to that project, whoever the director is, and I'm pretty sure you won't make another film. And that Ghost in the Shell is going to haunt you for the rest of your life, I'm afraid.
Oh, trust me, I wouldn't say he's got anything good.
Before and or after? So
the director is Rupert Sanders. The only other film he's done besides this was in 2012. It was Snow White and the Huntsman. The one I think that had Kristen Stewart and Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was his other film.
Perfect.
That's the guy you get to make Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, of course. You get a guy just desperate.
Yeah, a guy who would just make something for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real shame, honestly, because I think a lot of people can have a very sour taste in their mouth regarding Ghost in the Shell and I guess things based on anime.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's gonna. I mean, I really wish America would stop doing it. I know they're not going to because they're desperate. Film is dying in a lot of ways.
I'd still see that as a bit of exaggeration, but it's certainly...
creative ideas within films are dying pretty fast.
All right, I'll go with that.
Cinema is not... Well, cinemas are probably dying, but the film industry is not dying. I'd say the rate in which people enjoy films and creativity within films is dying pretty fast. And I think Hollywood is well aware of that, hence why they're going... Just go to Japan. It happened... like it did in the early 2000s, where they tried to remake every horror film and retitle it so people would know. They might do this with anime. I hope that the failure of Ghost in the Shell deters them away, or at least makes some people try harder.
Yeah, possible.
Because there are animes which could very easily make good animes. I mean, as much as I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, Cowboy Bebop could make a good Western film.
Yeah, it really could.
It could make a good Western film. It probably won't.
I mean, it is basically space Western, so...
Yeah, it very easily could. I mean, and that's an anime where, based on how the episodes go, you could literally take sections from certain parts and go, right, so we're going to have that episode, it's going to be part of the film, that one, that one, that one, that one. And you could make a film that works.
Or you could just watch Firefly, because it's very inspired.
Or you could watch that in some sense. But, no, they're just going to take the easy route in some sense. But, which is incredibly annoying. I don't want them to make any other anime films because you're just going to fail at it and you're just going to lose money. And you're just going to make me and you talk about how you fail at life, basically.
Yeah.
Because,
that's the thing, is I think this is why I'm a bit more optimistic for Death Note, because I can actually see they're trying something there. And they've actually adapted it for America.
Well, that's because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix know what people want. They want good.
Yeah.
They want things that aren't just terrible.
So I'm going to say the one thing in this film that I can remember and I actually liked, and it's nothing massive. It's like a 3-second scene, and it's so minuscule that almost everyone probably never noticed it.
Yeah.
So basically, when they're plugging a Major in, so she can go into the geisha
The
robots.
Matrix?
No, into the geisha robot's memory.
Oh, but this is inspired by the Matrix, so she's going into the Matrix, right?
Yeah. No, she's going into the geisha robot's memories. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Bato is standing there and he's got the wires, like he plugs her in, and then while she's laying back, he's pulling the wires so she doesn't lay on them. That's it.
Okay.
That's the only bit I liked, because it feels like they've done this before.
Okay.
It's so small, it's so nothing. I liked that, and that's it.
That's a shame.
Yeah. And the actors tried, they did good performance, like they did as good as I think they could.
Scarlett is a good actress, but I think she has nothing to work with because they've just said, remember, you're a robot, so act like a robot.
Yeah. And Takeshi Kitano, he looked so bored throughout the whole film.
Yeah, have you seen the poster of him on the front? He looks so at first I thought that was his character, but then I saw it and I was like, no, he just does not care.
Because in the anime...
Because he's just there to be Asian man, basically.
In the anime, if he is who I think he is, because I can't even remember his name from the film, that character is actually quite an expressive person. So, yeah.
Yeah, he was probably like, no, I'm not doing that. I want my check and I want to go home.
Yeah. And I've already mentioned how I feel bad for Michael Pitt because literally everything was against him.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing Ultron and that guy must suck, you know.
He was playing a hybrid of so many different things that aren't Ghost in the Shell.
No, I can only imagine what he looks like. He must look just rubbish.
It looks
in terms of design.
Did you ever see in any of the trailers or anything a guy wearing a hood?
No, because I just started ignoring the trailers.
It's that guy. It looks so dumb. And I feel really bad for I'm going to pronounce his name awfully, okay?
Okay.
Pilou Asbæk is... I have no understanding. It's Pilou space ASB, the weird AE letter, and then K.
Okay.
I have no idea. He played Batu.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Okay.
I actually really liked him.
He's not an actor I've seen before, so,
same.
Whatever.
But I liked him a lot.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's probably might have been one of the biggest gigs he's got, and hopefully he gets some more work out of this.
Hopefully.
Because if he is talented, hopefully he can move past that. That will be the only bad film he's in.
Yeah, exactly. So, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. You know, just because we hate the film doesn't mean we feel that everyone needs to be dragged down with it. Honestly,
No.
I know Scarlett will have plenty more work.
I'd rather rewatch Lucy. Like, I didn't... I'm just going to say this. I didn't hate Lucy. I thought it had an extremely dumb premise.
Lucy was annoying.
It had a dumb premise. But other than that, I didn't hate it. This was so fucking dumb. Like, if you like Ghost in the Shell, do
Watch
yourself
the
a
original.
favour. Don't watch this. Watch the original film. Watch Standalone Complex, because I'm really enjoying that show. It's really great.
Yeah, you can pick up a copy of the original film for like £10 in this country. Like, why not?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
Just go watch it. It's amazing.
I think it is on Netflix.
It's one of the best pieces of animation ever made.
Yeah.
So you'd be doing yourself a disservice. You don't even have to like animation, just watch it. And most adults have watched it because it's one of the best animated films ever.
Yeah.
You know, and as an adult film and that kind of stuff.
And don't waste your money going to see it in cinema, even if you want to laugh.
No.
The only reason I saw it is because I have a pass thing, so I can see as many films as I want in a month.
Yeah.
So
You technically paid like £1 for it.
Basically, yeah.
Don't even buy this on Blu-ray DVD. Don't. Do not waste your money. This is not it's a funny don't. No, this is a serious don't.
Yeah.
If you like animation, if you like Ghost in the Shell, if you like anime, if you do not want to see your favorite animated film, animated series get destroyed, like these films have, do not support this. Talk with your wallet. Watch something else.
Become a captain of a ship and pirate the ship.
Yeah.
I'm not endorsing pirating. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I just have to make that clear to everyone.
Fair enough. Anything else you want to discuss regarding this film?
I'm trying to remember. There was something I know somewhere in my brain, but I don't know, that there was a weird doctor lady and she was shite. I don't know if
Character and actor?
Huh?
Character and actor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be her accent, because I think it was kind of French accent, and I really don't like them in films. I don't know why, unless they're speaking French, then I'm fine.
Okay.
But it really kind of bothered me, and I feel bad about that, and she kept reminding me of Trinity from Matrix, the actress. It's not Carrie-Anne Moss.
Okay.
But it reminded me of her so much.
Oh dear.
It was really odd.
Oh boy, well, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the film sounds terrible, not that I didn't already think that and know that. It's doing pretty poorly in the box office, which is good. It's not reviewing very well, which is good. I'm glad more people, actual critics and fans of the original anime, have gone, this film's not good.
Yeah.
And hopefully that kind of spreads and people go, stay away from this film, and hopefully, was it like DreamWorks who behind this film?
Yeah, DreamWorks, Paramount, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully they never touch another animated-based film ever again, and they just decide to go, hey, let's make something else because that didn't work.
Yeah, make Shrek 5 instead.
Yeah, make that. I mean, I know we avoided the whole like whitewashing thing pretty much, but if any, I'll just say this. You should have known this was a bad idea from the moment people were criticizing you of being racists.
Yeah.
Don't bother again, because if you want that to happen, go ahead, make another anime film, because the exact same thing's going to happen. You're going to make no money and you'll be called racists.
Yeah.
Simply put.
And if you want to avoid that, adapt it properly or don't do it.
Make a film inspired by it.
Yeah, exactly.
Make an original film. Do something. Because that's what Hollywood isn't doing. It isn't doing anything.
I've got it. The American version. Ghost in Hell. There we go.
I guess that's probably what the straight to DVD sequel will be called.
Oh, the Asylum version.
Yeah.
Ghost in Hell.
Ghost in Hell. Or I'd probably be called Ghost in the Bot or something like that.
Possibly.
Knowing them.
Ghost in the Shield, because even they're taking pot shots.
That'd be funny. But yeah, don't bother yourself with this film. It's not worth it. There are plenty of other good films out there that you can go see, and there's plenty of other animes that are good that you can go see.
If you really want an anime series to watch and you've already seen Ghost in the Shell, I've just started watching Gatchaman Crowds. It's really good. Enjoy that instead.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, shall we wrap it up here?
Definitely.
Yeah, well, that was a long one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we managed to actually save you guys some money. Once again, do not see this film. It is 100% not worth it.
Yeah.
That comes from the bottom of my heart. Do not bother. And I'm pretty sure Ace would agree in case you want to go, oh, but you ain't seen the film.
Yeah. as I said on the podcast, came in with zero expectations, came out with even lower opinion of it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I mean, I guess we'll just end it. I mean, I was the angry raccoon. Sorry for my sore throat.
I was Ace.
And we'll see you on the next review and discussion
of Dewey-san.